Beautiful day here in North Carolina. Still praying for those people in the West that were destroyed by Hurricane Helene, but it's a beautiful day here. Hopefully, we play golf this afternoon and this weekend.
All right, Alan. And what is our topic for today?
Well, we went over it a little bit last week, but I got a short PowerPoint I want to share with everybody because I think this is very, very important.
All right.
I think everybody's going to like this idea.
I think never pay taxes again is a great idea.
Well, I like it myself. But here's the thing. Now, I've learned a lot of things over the years since I got my insurance license and my Series 65 and my certified programs and everything. But I became a certified tax and business advisor this last spring, and I'm studying the tax codes now. And I want to start this off. First off, I need to put out a disclosure. I'm a certified tax and business advisor, a tax strategist, and a certified financial fiduciary. Now, I'm not a CPA and I'm not an attorney. And I do not give tax advice, but I specialize in overlooked sections of the tax code that CPAs and attorneys may or may not know about, or they know very little. Again, I do not give tax advice. Please consult your CPA or attorney on whether this is right for you, and then ask them if they even know about this. But it's very important because people, they don't know what they don't know. I want to share with you a concept that could potentially eliminate the income taxes you pay every year. And people say, well, Alan, that's not possible. I said, yes, it is possible. There's many millionaires out there that don't pay any taxes because they take advantages of the tax code. And I don't like operating in the gray areas of the tax code. So what you're about to hear today is what I call black letter code or black letter law. Now, the focus is pretty clear here now. Eliminate taxes every year, creating wealth, and then with this strategy, you get your money back. And how is this possible, people ask me? Well, it's possible because back in 1958, they came out with a section of the tax code that's called Section 179. There's also a bonus depreciation schedule called Section 168K. And people need to understand these particular sections because it can make a huge difference in the taxes they pay or don't pay. Now, in both cases, you're allowed to buy certain types of equipment that could create a significant write-off for you in the year you bought them. Now, under 179, if you're married filing jointly, you can write off up to $1,220,000 of your income. And under the bonus depreciation, if you don't need that big a tax deduction, you could write off 60% in the year that you bought the equipment, and then equal portions of $100,000 for the next 4 years. That's wow. That itself is huge. If your income is passive or coming from wages like W-2, there's a limit on how much you can write off. That limit is $610,000. It's called 461 loss mitigation. But if you're a business owner, you can use this program to completely offset your income. And if you sold an active business, you could use this program to completely offset the capital gains. I use this strategy also to do Roth conversions for my clients, to where I put them into a Roth product that does not affect the taxation of Social Security or the means testing for Medicare Part B that will be in the thousands of dollars per year. It's protected from lawsuits, liens, and judgments. It gives you, for pennies on the dollar, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars for long-term care. I mean, the list goes on and on. But what you do, you create a single member LLC where you will buy equipment and borrow money against it and lease that equipment out. Your entire purchase is dollar for dollar deductible against your income if you are in Section 169 or 179. This is an example of how we do the equipment lease. It has a nearly 9-year track record, including successful performance during COVID, when basically the nation was shut down. But you want to buy $1 million of equipment. You put a 10% down payment and 90% is financed. Now you have to qualify for a conventional loan. It doesn't go against your personal credit because it's a conventional loan. And right now, I believe that loan rate is like 8.5%. Now the program offers a 15 to 23% return on invested capital. That's pretty amazing. And I'll tell you how they do that. Monthly payments from lease rental income exceed debt payments. Now I want you to understand, at 8.5%, it more than pays for the loan payments, the net lease agreements you have. But interest rates are going down, so you'll make up that spread in the difference of the interest rates, which can be thousands of dollars. Now, the equipment is sold back after 5 to 6 years at 68 or 60% of the original purchase price, paying off the remaining loan, and you've made income every year and every month that you've had this for the 5 or 6 years, and you had $1 million tax deduction. Now, the partners we have in this program are the 3 largest equipment companies in the United States. I mean, they're bulldozers, cranes, road gators, and things like that. It's heavy equipment. They are United Rentals, Equipment Share, and Easy Equipment Zone. They're the largest in the United States. Now, people ask me, well, what are my protections, Alan? Well, the equipment maintenance, insurance, and storage costs are netted out of your rental income. The program has never missed a target rate of return, previously fixed at 18%. And everybody asks, well, Alan, how are they going to do that? Well, these equipment companies make 40% short-term leases. They're making 40% on the money and paying you 15 to 23%. They're making a huge amount of money. And then after that, they keep the equipment for another year, and then they take it to South America or Africa and resell it. So they're making tons and tons of money. And multiple insurance policies protect you as the equipment owner. Now, understand this. There's tax requirements, IRS tax code requirements. A minimum of 100 hours of material participation are required annually for tax purposes, and this can be easily accomplished. Now, they're going to send you an email once a week for 52 weeks. That's 52 hours. You can make a phone call, just document this stuff to the leasing companies. That can constitute another hour or whatever. Take a 2-day work vacation and go to their convention. Meet other leasing agents or other leasing owners. That's 48 hours. Your 100 hours is taken care of. Just make sure you document it. Now, there is a 2.85% platform fee of the purchase. So for $1 million, it's $28,500. But what that does, they set up the whole program for you. They'll set up your loan, everything else. They take care of all the paperwork. Now, think about this. You may never have to pay taxes again. Use the money from taxes saved to invest in whatever you want. You can utilize a strategy to convert your IRA to a Roth, your 401k into a Roth. You're an equipment leasing owner producing positive income, and you can do this year after year now. They have projected growth. They've got, they have no more equipment to do this year. Everybody goes on a waiting list now. I'm on a waiting list for next year. And I got one client in. He was the last one this year. But everybody else, I got another client yesterday. We're going on a waiting list for next year. But wow. They expect this. They got $18 billion worth of equipment. And one of the companies, I can't remember, I think it's Equipment Zone, their value was like $5 billion. They expect to be at $30 billion in 5 years. It is a huge, huge company. I mean, think about this. You know, Airbnb is the largest real estate owner in the world. They don't own anything, though. It's the same thing with these equipment companies. They don't own it. They lease it out. It's just like the rental car companies.
Wow. You know, it's amazing opportunity. And now with, again, our new President-elect Trump, there'll probably be other tax benefits coming up next. And the person to contact is Alan Porter, because you're ready in January to see some new stuff, right? I'm sure there'll be new programs, more tax cuts, more opportunities. So you can email Alan at strategicwealth, the number 0@gmail.com, or call him at 910-551-1046, or go to strategicwealthstrategies.com. So appreciate it, Alan.
Sure, Neil. But one last thing. No, everybody, I teach people to think outside the box of conventional financial planning. You know, I show them what the wealthy do to create wealth. The people that are tax savvy. You know, we got politicians in there for 2 years or 4 years. And one in particular was a bartender. Now she's worth millions of dollars. How did she get that? They know the tax codes and some other things they do. But, you know, I can show people how to reduce and possibly eliminate both debt and taxes. I possibly can set them up with a tax-free retirement. I can show them how to become their own bank, borrow from themselves and pay themselves compound interest, and eliminating the effective interest costs that they're paying to the financial institutions. And I eliminate the risk in retirement that a stock portfolio, bond portfolio, mutual funds, or money market funds only compound.
Right.
And I can recall 18 right off the top of my head. But another thing that I do, Neil, is very important. I can reduce people's healthcare costs.
Right.
Healthcare alone, I got a program that will reduce it 30 to 70% for individuals and companies. But I have a health and wellness program that's no net cost to the employer, no net cost to the employee, but the employer will realize an average savings of over $500 in FICA taxes off every W-2 employee, and an 8% increase in production, because people on this health and wellness program have an 8% higher 8% higher production rate and a 7% higher retention rate. So what that does for the owner, saves them money in taxes, more revenue and increased production, and now they have less problems with retention and recruitment. And the employee has a plethora of benefits that I won't go over today. But if any of this interests everybody, Neil gave you my contact information. Give me a call. I don't charge for my consultations.
All right. We appreciate it, Alan. Thanks again.
Thank you, everybody.
It's the strategic wealth strategy.